Hi, my name is Babette, and welcome to Lesson 8 of Babette's Guide to Rhythm. This lesson we're going to talk about the dotted quarter note. Here's a quarter note with a dot, and that dot always follows the quarter note. If you see it above or below, it's not a dotted quarter note. That dot means something else. But what does this dot mean? It means that the length of this dotted quarter note is half again as long as the quarter note. So in other words, it's 1.5 times the length of the quarter note. Now, what do we know can make up 1.5 times? What makes up a quarter note? Well, we've just had a big section on eighth notes. How many eighth notes make up a quarter note? 2 eighth notes make a quarter note. So then what's half the length of a quarter note? That would be 1 more eighth note. So 3 eighth notes make up the length of a dotted quarter note. Another way to write that is to take a quarter note and tie it to an eighth note. Hey, I made a happy face. So in this lesson, we're going to have 3 exercises. In the first exercise, we're going to have like 8 eighth notes, and that will be followed by a dotted quarter note so that you can set up and subdivide. Feel that rhythm of all those eighth notes, and then count 3 eighth notes when you see the dotted quarter note. In the second exercise, we're not going to see the dotted quarter note, but we are going to see the quarter note tied to an eighth note. And that's because it's the same length as that dotted quarter note. In the third exercise, we're going to see a combination. You'll have the dotted quarter note and the eighth note that's tied to the quarter note. So, should be lots of fun. Are you ready to begin? This exercise we're going to start at a metronome marking of 60 and with the playing notes. You will also hear a click for each eighth note so that you could practice your subdividing, which you need to help you play the dotted quarter note precisely the right length. There will be 3 clicks for each dotted quarter note. Remember to count off 8 beats when you hear the metronome begin. So now it's time to take a deep breath and begin. Still at a metronome marking of 60, We're now going to play exercise 1, but we're going to change the notes. But that's not the only thing that we're going to do different. This time, the tract will not be subdivided, so you'll only hear the click on the beat. This means that you're going to have to subdivide in your head so that you will play the dotted quarter note at precisely the right length. Okay, now remember to count off 8 beats when the metronome begins. It's time to take a deep breath and begin. Did you remember to subdivide throughout the exercise? I hope so, because now we're moving on to a metronome marking of 92, and this metronome click will not be subdivided either. Remember to count off your 8 beats when the metronome begins. Remember to subdivide throughout. Now it's time for a deep breath and begin. This time we'll do it at a metronome marking of 120. Remember to count off your 8 beats when the metronome starts. Remember to subdivide from start to finish. Let's take a deep breath and begin. As with exercise 1, we're going to subdivide this with the metronome marking at 60. Count off your 8 beats, take a deep breath, and begin. We're still at 60, but this time the metronome click is only on the beat, not subdivided, and we're changing notes. So now let's count off our 8 beats when the metronome starts. It's time for a deep breath and begin. Now we'll do exercise 2 at a metronome marking of 92. Don't forget to count off your 8 beats when the metronome starts. Don't forget to subdivide. It's now time to take a deep breath and begin. Once again for exercise 2 at a metronome marking of 120. Please don't forget to subdivide shortly after you begin counting your 8 beats when the metronome starts. And now it's time to take a deep breath and begin. We'll now begin exercise 3 at a metronome marking of 60, and this tract will be subdivided with the playing notes, and this is a mixture of the dotted quarter with the 8th note tied to the quarter note. Remember to count off your 8 beats and subdivide. Now it's time for a deep breath and begin. Again at a metronome marking of 60. This time it will not be subdivided, and we will be changing notes. Remember to count off your 8 beats and subdivide. It's time for a deep breath and begin. Okay, now we'll do exercise 3 with a metronome marking of 92. Please don't forget to count off your 8 beats when the metronome begins. Subdivide. Now it's time for a deep breath and begin. Now we'll finish up exercise 3 and this lesson with a metronome marking of 120. So remember to count off your 8 beats when the metronome begins and subdivide from the beginning to the end. Now it's time for a deep breath and begin. Thank you for watching Lesson 8 and following along on this journey. Please share my videos and my channel with your friends, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye-bye.